And welcome back to the ASUS ROG Dreamleague. We're going to be bringing you game number 2 between SNA and EG here in just a second. We're actually already in the draft, but Wagga, first game seems like EG kind of had a firm grip.
No, it doesn't matter so much. This is the one.
Okay.
This is the one where Sneaky Nicks are going to surprise EG, win, and then lose the next one horribly.
Okay, so it's not lose, win, win. It's lose, win, lose.
Yes,
right?
Mostly that way.
So this is the game. This is SNA's time, according to Wagga. And I mean, I'm not opposed to seeing an upset. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I just really feel like if the draft kind of goes similarly to how the last game did, where SNA put themselves in a position where, hey, we have to make sure that we execute, I feel like they're already at a disadvantage.
Yes, I would agree. I liked some things of what SNA did in the last draft phase, but it was more about their bands, not so much how they just picked the same style and went sort of all in. They do get their hands on a pretty nice hero here, though, immediately, which is Lycan, of course. But one of the big counters to Lycan is also in the pool, which I would say is Enigma.
Yep.
He's a really strong hero against him. Even just Midnight Pulse, never mind the Black Hole, just Midnight Pulse and stun him, and you're already zoning Lycan so much in a team fight. And also providing that fast farm for your team, getting an early mech can really help you a lot.
Yeah, and EG has a tendency to gravitate towards those style of lineups where they're the ones who always not necessarily have a better late game, but they have better farming more often than not. So EG, speaking of, actually going to be picking up a Skywrath mage, a hero that we don't actually get to see too often.
That's true.
But they're going to round things out with a Tidehunter. So it could be a Zai hero, it could be a Universe hero. We have yet to see.
It's pretty hard to call who's going to play what on EG until they actually go into the game, pick the heroes, and you wait until they can't swap anymore, and then when they walk out on the lanes. After last game, because really anyone could have played the Jakiro at that stage. I thought Ortiz could have played it mid. We could have seen Universe take it off lane. It could have been a support. Ended up being Fear going mid with the Jakiro in the end. So the flexibility on their team is really high. Fluff gonna grab up the Void and Lycan together here. A good side, I guess, is that Void doesn't really care that much about Skywrath against him. And he can also be one of the few heroes, again, to target down a Tidehunter and kill him.
Yeah.
So you have some options there. And also Lycan's Howl while you're chronoing is really effective, because you will hit very fast with Mask of Madness if that's your build in that game. But still, EG trying to secure some team fight against the Lycan is pretty smart, because if you don't have the dominance in team fighting against a team with Lycan, you will lose towers very quickly.
Yeah, that's very true. But I think EG might fall back on what they used to do, which was the Enigma Tidehunter. They were, I would say, infamous for doing that strategy very, very often.
That's true.
It proved to be quite strong. Two heroes that have not only massive team fight, but the capability of farming over any circumstance. Like even if you're having a really tough game, you'll still typically be able to get your mech on your Enigma. You'll still be able to find your Arcanes, Blink in the Tide at some stage. And that just has the looming team fight sense of a Chronosphere is really good. But when you have to hit two heroes, it makes it a lot less useful.
Exactly, and you would even need to go, if you go in on the Enigma, which is probably your prime target if he's in the game, then you would have to have a BKB just to not get ravaged, because the idea of catching both Enigma and Tide is, it's not happening. They're never going to hug that close. So it would put them in a very difficult spot with the Void pick, and we'll see if Fear decides to go for it. It seems Fear is drafting now, but I reckon Fear and PPD probably talk a lot together about what they want to pick. Yeah. Because Fear is he's a drafter who has been around for so long. I mean, he is one of the oldest Dota players, not in how old he actually is, but
been playing the longest.
Having played competitively for ages, And PPD is really, really proving himself to be a very good drafter as well. Definitely, arguably the best in the Western scene, completely.
Yeah, I actually think that PPD is like the best Western drafter, just period. I don't really often see him get outdrafted, and when he does, it's like one game out of a series or like one game in a tournament or something like that, where you're kind of like, okay, this one might be stretching yourself a little bit too thin.
Yeah,
so
at TI4 they did really well. Their draft seems very solid, and they seem to have something that worked well for them. This is very curious, this game. So Brewmaster gets picked up, which is okay. That's like more team fight and control, which we sort of expected. I don't want them to go all in the way that Complexity did, because it puts you in a very weird spot, I think, with too many team fight ultis that take long to recharge. But the Lycan Void Sven.
Support Sven.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it kind of has to be. Okay.
Okay, so here's what they're going to do.
They're not actually winning this one. I'm going to change. They will win the last game.
Here's what they're going to do. You have Howl, right? You have Warcry for plus armor.
Yes.
You get Aghanims on Sven.
Yes.
You have Beastmaster Aura.
Amazing.
You run into them.
Yes.
I mean, let's just negate the fact that there's 5 melee heroes against a Tide Ravage and now a Tree ulti.
Yes.
Let's just say that
An Anchor Smash
if they
just
get
removing
all that
60%
stuff
of your
up,
damage.
okay, we're going to see some serious shit.
Okay. I mean, I would expect like an Ursa last pick now or something out of Fluff and stuff, but
I don't honestly have any idea what's going on.
to be honest, this is very, very gimmicky.
Peculiar.
What Sneaky Nicks are picking. Yeah, peculiar. Strange is a simple and good word for this draft as well, but assuming that they do get their combo elf as they want, they have decent disables. They have the Chronosphere, they have the Sven stun, they also have Beastmaster. I think Sven and Beast really need Blink Daggers to get the ults landing or their stuns landing as they want. But assuming they land their combinations correctly, it could work, and they do hit tremendously hard.
Yeah,
even without some ags on
that
Sven.
is very true. They have a very good, we're going to run at you and just truck you team.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's like you get a Beastmaster Aura off or a Sphere, and the biggest concern that I have is that up until the Pugna pick, there was no Sphere follow-up outside of, I guess, throwing out a Sven stun or some axes, right?
Wild
It's
access,
like
man.
every other hero on the team actually can't go in the Sphere, so you kind of got to
No, you have to universe it.
Yeah, but
You know,
no,
you have to just put them on the edge of it.
okay, this is actually World of Warcraft. All right, bear with me here. Right?
All right.
Sven is your tank. Okay. Faceless Void is like your polar, and then Lycan is DPS, Beastmaster support, and Pugna healer.
Never played World of Warcraft, but it sounds very good.
It's legit.
It's a combo.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But if they are this massive combination players, then I think EG is going to be a tough raid boss to bring down because they have a lot of good shit against them.
Yeah, I think the Tidehunter, Tree, and Protector is going to be insanely tough to deal with because once you get BKBs too, it's like if you BKB for the Tide Ravage, you're going to get Tree rooted.
Yeah.
If the Bruce Split goes off, like you want to sphere 3 heroes on the side of EG, actually maybe even 4 once the Morphling starts getting farmed.
Yeah.
So
and
that's like the worst case scenario.
They don't have a straight up counter for the Morphling as well, something we haven't mentioned. They don't have any jump in, instant silence or whatever. They can stun him, but he can morph during a stun. So he'll be fine through any of these targets going on him. And the downside is, I don't think they win the 5-man scenario ever. If EG are 5 and Nyx are 5, EG should just win. Like,
yeah,
unless they're extremely over-farming them or something. So they have to play the splitty type of game, in which case I guess EG doesn't have the best pick-off, and it might work for them. But I'm still not sure about this draft. I'm not sold on the Lycan into Void into Sven pick, but convince me, Nyx.
All right, well,
I'm still praying for a win, man. They should win one game.
if it's going to be a game to win, then it's got to be this one, right?
Yeah.
So if they don't win this, they're going to get 3-0'd according to Wagga.
Pretty hard to win after you lose 2 games in a row against a team. It's very rare.
Mentally, it's like a hurdle that you have to overcome.
Yeah, it's also something that you very rarely even get forced to do in a pro player's life, okay?
So many
because
BO3s.
So many BO3s, and if you lose the first 2, then the game is already over. Like, you lost, and you have to go rethink your strategy. So after losing 2 games in a triple best-of-1 series, you're already kind of at the same very familiar moment where, okay, what we did didn't work, and what do we do next time we play them? But instead you have to recharge and immediately take a win of them. It's very hard to do.
Well, we'll see if SNA have it in them. They definitely have an interesting draft, and the damage potential is definitely there. No doubt
They'll go
about
down
that.
swinging, I think. I mean, they have the right clicks, all of the right clicks, to be honest.
I like the way that you actually use swinging because all of their heroes actually swing weapons.
They do swing. That's why I was thinking as well. So Fluff is going to be playing on the Beastmaster, trying to check top rune, but instead PPD and Zaya coming in. They could maybe kill if they go on to Zaya instead, but he has a haste rune picked up as it spawned.
Pretty decent, getting that early rune control, allowing him to, well, I guess run very aggressively towards the opponent's side of the map. I'm not entirely sure if he's just trying to scout to make sure he can see what the lanes are or what the actual plan is here.
Yeah.
He's going to do a decent amount of harassment to Fluff, which is, if nothing else, very annoying and having to force him to use regen.
Is he going to body block the Ancients once? No. Oh, Okay, he wanted to. He kind of wanted to, but then realized they should probably get back to top lane. But it wouldn't matter much. I don't think they're going to stack on the first timing. We see him run up here to help, as Lust is actually quite far out. He does have a stun, but RTZ
they're just getting punched to death by trees. All right, we're going to see one stun come out. They do have axes, but there's no follow-up. Like, they're going to get slowed here by a concussive blast, and PPD and Zai are just punching them to death.
I think EG are just questioning what this is, because they don't even have waveform. They have no potential at all to fight, and PPD is still not respecting them. Like, okay, you stunned me, and now you right-clicked me, but what is this tri-lane actually gonna do? I think PPD is confused about what they want to achieve with this.
Let's just say the killing potential is not real, and Lust is actually going to die to a neutral.
Yeah, well, faster respawn to get back to base, using that one stun on Sven and realizing mana is gone.
Oh no, my lane presence is actually just completely dwindled. The woes of Sven is just, okay, next patch, reduce Sven's mana cost and stun, or give him more base int so he can cast 2 stuns.
Well, to be fair, I think Sven is very strong now, just not so strong in the support role, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because his armor is crazy good with a high-level Warcry, but you don't get that so early when you're running support. And your mana issues, as we saw, I mean, it forced him to suicide, right? He's throwing out another stun here, trying to go with the jump from Void. They need some body block, I think.
Oh my god, they're gonna kill him. The damage!
The rush in with the Howl, to be fair, I didn't think he would die, but the Howl made the difference there as well. So he just got brute forced by a triple melee lane.
I mean, they did see PPD leave. They have 2 wards top, and one of them sees the top rune, so they clearly saw that the tree was not in the lane anymore.
Still though, first blood going their way.
Yeah.
Lane sort of salvaged.
And bottom lane, the Pugna's not doing too bad himself. Sure, this lane should go in favor of a Pugna, like,
yeah,
no doubt.
Pugna can click Tide a lot on this lane, and with the spam of his nuke as well, you can do quite a bit of damage. But now PPD with the Invis rune, they might be trying to get a kill here.
He's got an Orb of Venom too. They're definitely going to go for it. Yeah. The thing is, Universe, I think, needs more health than this. He needs to, like, salve or something.
Yeah, he has very low health.
He's going to eat a blast here.
This is not going to work.
Taking some damage. Yeah, Universe needed to have more HP.
Well, actually, it might work. PPD is pretty relentless, but he's going to back out in the end, realizing that one more Pugna blast is going to put you at death in your grave.
Do you think that salving there would have made it too obvious that somebody was going to come gank? I don't think it would have.
I think he should have salved. Like, just back up, salve, and then go, because he even had Magic Stick as well. But maybe it's just the fact that he realized, I don't have Gush, and I'm not going to have it anytime soon, so let's not do it. Sven trying to go in behind here, but obviously they cannot kill RTZ unless, you know, something goes horribly wrong.
They have to catch him with wave down, basically, if they want to even have a chance at killing him.
That's the only time he has any chance of dying. Mid lane though, lane that we haven't really mentioned, it's just a Brewmaster against Lycan, and as any lane with Brewmaster really, it's pretty much a trade in farm, but Brewmaster doing slightly better, actually 6 CS ahead, which is quite nice, but there's also a lot of CS here to take under a tower for TZ, if he can.
You mean for TC?
Yeah, for TC.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Did you say TC? I thought you said RTZ.
No, I said TC.
Okay, my bad.
For TC, yeah. Well, should put in some naming standards for America, yo.
You got to actually use words. You can't just have letters and acronyms as your name.
Well, maybe then we need some rules against Chinese naming standards as well. Damn it.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
Casting is hard, man.
It is.
So Regen Rune gonna be found here by Lycan on top. That actually allows him to spam out his wolves a little bit more and farm more. And he tried to deny the bottom rune as well, but he didn't manage to do it against the Tide, so he finds a bounty rune. It's a nice little break for Tide Hunter, who's struggling on his lane.
I also think that the Tide is very similar to what a Jakiro typically offers EG, is the consistency of always having strong team fight. You're always going to get your levels. You don't necessarily need a ton of farm. Like, one core item is enough, and then you're good.
Yeah, that's really true. Tide is probably, you know, he's the best example of that. A hero that doesn't need farm to contribute. You just walk into a team fight, and you're there. You are Tide.
Speaking of walking in,
people fear you.
That's what Knicks want to do really, really badly. They're going to spot out Zai to the right-hand side. They definitely want to go for a stun here. Are they going to be able to have the damage? They pop the Howl. The axes are there.
Need some
There's
bash.
still a wave for him. Nah, he's holding it. He knows he's fine.
Yeah. Arteezy is just like, this is annoying, but what is going on actually? But they bring down a lot of his consumables, also forcing out some morphing, and he's actually going to go for a bottle here to try and compensate for all the damage he's taking. And this time, Lust doesn't suicide to the creeps. He's a little bit happier now, so he's going to have a Stormbolt available soon with his Clarity.
Yeah, and they can dive in. They all have enough mana for their spells if they want.
Yeah, and RTZ, he used a waveform. This is an opening right here if they want to. They could try and dive behind
He's
with
extremely
the
low.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any mana whatsoever.
Oh, they will dive this. Like, I think that waveform was a mistake right there.
Oh boy,
This could be bad. This could
I'm
be
surprised
really
he's
bad.
not just going right now.
If they go,
All
he's dead.
They're leading with the boar. They want to try to tank the tower auto attacks here. Lust, he's got the stun, the time walk forward. Here comes the stun, but he gets his bottle and a tree armor at the same time. He's taking some damage, but he's actually able to bottle through it. It was a bait. They're actually going to get a kill out of it. They might even get two.
I don't think that was as much of a bait as just sneaky Nyx assassins not really capitalizing on what they saw. As soon as he used a waveform there and he didn't have any mana, I think they should have done the wraparound from behind.
Yeah.
But instead, they waited too long and kind of dived awkwardly from straight ahead without timing and going on the same target, because Beastmaster was not even trying to kill Morphling at first.
That's true, yeah.
So I think they were not really on the same page. Anyway, the lane is working out pretty well for EG, even though they just have 2 heroes on it.
Well, the Morphling's only got 24 CS. He's actually lower than the Void. So.
True.
I mean, do we think that, in some sense, the Void is scarier than the Morphling? Because I think the Void is scarier than the Morphling at pretty much every stage.
Yeah, Morph is also not the greatest hero against what Nyx have. Everyone is so tanky.
Yeah.
Like, frustratingly tanky, because they're all strength heroes or Void. And then, of course, there's a Pugna, but I think Pugna is going to be very careful. So going E-Blade is not going to work out that well for you. But that means you have to go into physical deeps. But you're against a Sven. And you're also against a Lycan, so the odds of them having very high armor is pretty high. So maybe the Morphling is just not going to work that well into the late game unless he gets very good farm. So as crazy as Nyx's lineup might seem, it could work.
We'll see.
It depends on more things than this though. Mid laners are probably the most important thing. How much is Lycan and Brewmaster going to contribute to their own teams?
Well, I mean, we were talking a lot about how the potential of SNA's team is actually quite good, and the fact that they're all tanky and stuff, but we also have to be realistic about how much they're actually getting out of top, even though the Void's farming. Lust is level 2, right? So
yes,
it's not like he's getting a ton of experience or anything. They got 1 kill, and the levels in general, I think, are suffering a bit here. They're going to find Zai, the Stormbolt, to follow it up. It should be a pretty easy kill, and that definitely helps.
Yeah.
Any kill they can get is going to be huge for them.
This is working out. I never thought I would see a Beastmaster Sven Void lane.
Oh, Fear. He's got his ulti. He's got haste as well. He wants to try to run up here and get a clap into an easy kill. I think they might be able to get at least IX Mike. Oh,
yeah, they should be getting him, chasing after him here. Just the haste rune doing so much work. Even the concussive shot coming in, but not stealing the last hit.
Really nice timing by Fear, too, knowing that the wards would be down on that rotation. It's a little over 8 minutes in.
At least they got 1 TP out, so they didn't lose 2 heroes for that. And meanwhile, TC didn't have a chance to do any damage bit. So.
It's dying pretty quickly here, 31 HP. He's got another Nether Blast, but Universe is down here. Nether Ward's placed. Universe does not want to fully commit to this fight. He does have Ravage, but...
He also has a salve on Rax, so he could salve up a little bit and just keep pushing here, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess he never really got harassed that much on the laning stage. Well, you are Pugna against the Tide, so chances of you being harassed pretty low.
Yeah, agreed. And I think the Pugna is actually hugely important for this lineup. The Nether Ward does some serious work, and Morphling actually morphing all his stats top lane while he's alone, just to make sure that the bottle gives him the maximum efficiency here.
Yeah, that greed, yo. That greed. It's good.
Yeah.
Realizing that no one was there. Could also hurt him if the enemy happened to be smoking, but I think he saw the Sven on bottom, actually. He just showed for a little while on that ward that's around there. But this game, I think if the game goes really even during the laning stage, though, I would still say Nyx are the ones to gain from that.
Yeah.
Because they have such a funky draft that you would expect them to do pretty poorly in the early game.
Yeah, that's very true.
Sure, they are staying low level on Sven, but now finally getting some time to level up, taking bottom lane even. If they can pull into the mid game with sort of even golden experience, I think they have a strong draft. Like, I mean, they have a strong peak.
Clap on the TC. The silence is there, but he gets the wolf form off. PPD, he gets a leaf seed. 1 more tick will get the kill.
Yeah. Even a right click coming in from Zai if he would live from that tick. So very nice by EG getting that pick off on a Lycan. Not always the easiest hero to kill.
Well, speaking of not easy to kill, This Morphling is very, very hard to try to kill him, especially when you're Lycan's dead. No how.
It's more about limiting his farm, though. I mean, he's 51 CS at 10 minutes. Obviously, missed out on 31 CS, so they have kept him down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And just being annoying, you know, hitting him like this, he loses HP, and how does he regenerate? Now he has to send back his clone, jump to that, TP out to the lane again, and then he doesn't have a TP.
Oh, Fluff could be in trouble here. Fear's got the Blink Dagger, the Clap, and the Waveform, but the Netherwork dealing quite a bit of damage to Arteezy.
Oh, if they just had a Chrono there, that would be so wonderful, because then Pugna could be draining, and the synergy would be there, Draskel.
Telling you, man, the healer. Well, I guess he's like a hybrid, like DPS healer.
Yeah, I think he's probably DPS in this team.
Yeah.
You don't heal these guys. You have so many tanks, you don't heal them.
You just rotate tanks.
Yeah.
One person gets low, all right, get out. New tank taunt.
Get the hell out. Well, that's the thing. All of them are really, really durable.
Oh, Ice Mike taking so much damage. The Ancient Seal is going to wear off.
Yeah.
He'll be able to leap away.
They do have the ulti on Void now, but they also need ulti on Beastmaster, and I would say Sven also needs his level 9 when he has that ulti and level 4. Because 16 armor and that movement speed you get from Warcry is so good.
Yeah.
And also having it available at low cooldown, meaning you pretty much have it all the time.
Well, EG is still continuing to be the ones applying the pressure here, and as I would say, per usual, Universe almost having a Blink and Arcanes at 12-13 minutes.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, while Universe has not had to leave his lane, Brax has made the transition to other lanes to make sure that not only Lus could farm a bit on the Sven in the safe lane, but to try to help get kills. And Brax actually going to be dropping here after just a second. He is going to get a life drain off. Teleport reaction coming in. He's staying alive for quite a long time, actually. That point booster doing some serious work. Eventually does fall to Fear Split.
Oh, I think Fluff is dead as well now, though.
I think to give a bonus kill. Arteezy actually stuttering his auto attack a few times, but a blink forward from Fear will pick up that kill. Stun onto Arteezy under the tower, just walks right past IX.
He's perfectly fine. He's gonna just back out, and Fear seems to be fine as well in the background here. So just gonna run out. Very nice fight by EG. Also like the fact that Treant threw down his ulti, and as soon as the life drain came out, PPD realizing that if Pugna got the life drain, he would probably have lived there.
Yeah.
You could see how long he actually tanked that. I was surprised to see him not go down. But he does have power trades. Oh, they go mid. Gonna try and kill IX Mike here. I'm probably gonna bring him down as
the retreat sphere.
The runaway sphere. I like how close they are standing.
That was nicely done, but unfortunately that means that, IX Mike tries to TP out, and Universe just blinks forward and anchor smashes him. The fight continues. There is no split, and there is no Ravage either. The Axis hit on 2. They throw out the Beastmaster Roar as well. The Netherwork doing some work, but the Nether Blast is going to miss. Zai, he's getting body blocked by the Wolves a little bit.
Yeah, but
he gets
invis by PPD, and double stun coming out here from Sven. They could actually get some kills here. I think Universe is going to go down as well if they just keep damage on him.
They do no damage. Got to use the Wolves to chase him down.
Yeah, hit him.
He's going to try to die to Roshan.
Yeah, but he's so tanky, he can't die yet.
Oh, soon.
Roshan doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, no, I need to kill this Sven instead. So that's a nice thing that you can do whenever someone's trying to deny themselves to Ancients or Roshan or anything. Just walk close to them and reissue your attack command, because that repulls the aggro from the creep. Because if you come attacking a hero from far away, Roshan will not actually care about that attack command, but if you're close and pulling the aggro again, then it will work.
Same as laning, basically.
Yes, it's the same as pulling creeps on lane, to be honest. But it's nice to apply that, which they did.
Well, Tier 1 looks like it's going to be going the way of SNA. Brax actually might lose his life for this. The Catapult actually changes targets. The tower will still die, and Zai kills himself.
Oh, no.
Oh, my. The Netherward.
Did he actually die to casting ulti? I don't think so, because he would still get a cooldown, right?
I think he casted...
It was just a concussive shot, I think. The 110 right there.
That is awkward.
Yeah, that was very sad.
I mean, that's really all you can do after that, right? You say, oops, I'm dead. And then you're just like, welp.
Yeah,
life is hard.
I guess not much you can do.
I mean, it's one of those things where if you're not actively looking at your buffs and debuffs, that you could miss it. You know, if the ward's not in plain sight and you cast a spell because you just want to be able to ensure a kill.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that. So stuff like that happens from time to time.
Yeah. Oh, it actually hit him for... Okay,
it was his ulti, yeah.
It was his ulti, so you don't get cooldown by using an ulti, you die before, or using a cooldown?
I guess the mana cost goes off before the spell itself, or something?
Yeah, like the ward will detect you trying to cast it before you actually use it. But it looked weird, because he didn't have mana to cast ulti either on when he was dead. Anyway.
Yeah.
weird.
Well, if it calculates
It
the
had to be
mana,
it had to be the ulti though, because it revealed he took 360 damage from the ward, so
Yeah.
it was no doubt the ulti.
well, in the meantime, Arteezy, can he get a top tower?
Radiant's top tower.
Still farming quite well. He's up to 88 CS now.
Yeah, he has 3,000 gold, but again, I don't think that the E-Blade is going to do a whole lot for you in this game. Sure, you have a Skywrath in your team, but you're also playing against a Pugna, so
I think you just go right-click build.
yeah, you have to, but both builds are bad.
Well, I think that Manta build is a little bit better. Like
Yeah.
Manta, Scotty, Dominator, you know, you just go for like,
Arguably, yeah, I think so. Scotty would be really nice in this game, just chasing people, and even lifesteal builds, but I think he's just considering the same thing, like what do I go in this game? Is it effective to go for an E-Blade? Because who do you really shotgun? Even if you morph as much as you can, you're barely being able to bring down the support Sven or support Beastmaster.
well, you also have to consider they have Ancient Seal too, and they're maxing it out. So E-Blade, Ancient Seal, Mystic Flare, and a shotgun combo should kill pretty much anybody.
That's true, but that's a full combo along with the Skywrath, and I think anything will kill together with that.
Yeah.
When you team up. But
But if you look
the
at his
draft
build too, it's
being
like, I feel like the E-Blade is probably going to do what it's going for.
if you wait this long with buying items, it should be the E-Blade coming out.
Yeah.
Again, though, the summons are real from Nyx, as they just have the wolves and the boars, everything walking around. Fear also walking around with his Invis rune right here. Trying to find someone. Gotta go on Fluff and stuff.
Yeah, he should be dead. Immediately pops a split. TC just on full retreat. Fluff realizing I am a goner, and Arteezy manages to secure that kill with the waveform and one auto attack. So if EG want to, actually they're going to find one more. Brax is Cyclone here under the tier 2. Is the team actually going to help him out? They still have Ravage. He's going to throw out the boulder toss. Universe coming in. He does have a Ravage. He's going to pop it right away. They want to get this kill for sure.
No
The
mana,
life
he
drain's
can't
going
trap
off.
him.
They don't
Oh,
have
no.
anything. He's just going to stand there.
Oh no, Brax doesn't care. Even with
Okay,
the
the
crit, they
waveform.
finally get the waveform coming in. But meanwhile, actually his team did some work, like him bringing down the Skywrath Mage as well.
Where was his team?
His team was on mid feeding.
Can you imagine if they had like anything else there, like a Sven stun or something, just to make sure that he gained some HP? Because then the waveform wouldn't have hit him. He was remaining like a consistent level of health with two heroes just beating on him.
Yeah,
So if he had any time to where he was just draining, he would have probably been alive.
that's true. Or if he had any help at all, the poor Pugna. Anyway,
He
he's
just
working
yelled
on
team.
this. Yeah, he's probably yelling team. He's just working on his Aghanims though, and getting it as soon as possible, which I agree completely with. I think Aghanims is a very important item on Pugna.
Yeah.
Gives you,
You
so
just
much
go like
tank.
Aghanims BKB, just so you don't get interrupted with your life drain.
Well, maybe. There's, I guess, the tree, but it doesn't matter so much if you get interrupted. It's more about whether you get completely burst.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, yeah, BKB is strong, but you can just rechannel as well if you get stunned or like cancelled in many ways.
I think the main reason why you would want it is just Skywrath Silence, because it
Yeah.
lasts ages.
True.
I mean,
6
you could buy a
seconds is-
Yules for yourself if you want to just have the Dispel, but that's also a lot of time that you're not dealing any damage and you're not draining health during the fight. So
True. Yeah, BKB is a pretty safe choice to go on him, but in general, just survivability is your best friend as a Pugna. Get some nice
Speaking of,
D-ward here.
speaking of BKB, Arteezy actually opted to go BKB as a first item.
But why?
Maybe they just want to fight. I mean, that's the obvious choice,
That's
right? Like if you're gonna fight, you want BKB.
That's an interesting take on this game. I'm having a hard time agreeing with this BKB choice because, I mean, there's the Void ulti, there's the Beastmaster ulti, and there's also Lycan just right-clicking on you. And hell, even Sven doesn't care that much against the BKB.
Right.
So I'm assuming it's just to stop the Pugna. We'll
Well-
see how it works out, but this is not a very fast farming item.
If we assume that Arteezy
I don't know,
feels
man.
safe to right clicks, like he assumes, okay, I'm never gonna die to auto attack damage because I have a tree on my team, and the only thing I can die to really is like Pugna life drain, big burst from the Nether ward, and then like a Sven stun, right?
Yes.
Like those are the threatening things for me. So if I have a BKB and my team is still good enough to team fight in terms of item progression and abilities, then it's okay to buy a BKB so long as the fights are going in our favor.
Yes. Well, the problem, of course, that I guess you and me both are having with this item choice is that you're not going to be dealing that much damage, and you're not going to be farming that fast either.
Right.
So your transition into towards the late game now for EG is slightly hindered with the BKB choice, I would say. Whereas Nyx is seriously getting scary with all their combinations. They even went Midas on Sven. So all of them are looking to gear up for late game. And how do you really finish this game early enough for EG is what I'm starting to think now. They have decent spells and so on, but I don't think they win late game at all. Definitely not.
Yeah, God Strength Sven with some farm, a Void, a Lycan,
Like,
and
you
they're
don't
all going to
have
have
Beastmaster?
Beastmaster aura as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be really scary, I agree.
And Vladimir is, of course, up on Lycan and going for his own BKB. Of course, EG going for this Roshan is going to help them a lot. Just being able to fight more confidently in the next team fight.
Yeah. I really think that right now, EG's answer to the fact that they're playing against so many melee is just not only the Anchor Smash, but the Treant Armor is so much physical damage mitigation that the only thing that threatens Arteezy is magic, because if he gets disabled, that's going to be what kills him. It's not going to be dying to right-click. So as long as Universe is on point with his Ravages and they have an Overgrowth, physical damage output is really not too terrifying until we start seeing more BKBs come out on the side of Nyx.
Well, it's Universe, right? We shouldn't have to worry about seeing like a no-man Ravage like yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think you will be fine. When you have Blink M4 staff, like you can position yourself really well as Tidehunter. And also, as you said, the Anchor Smash is reducing a lot of damage. 60% for everyone who gets hit by it. I mean, when your team primarily, almost solely has right-click damage, Tidehunter becomes a pretty hard counter. And here we see Zai trying to be sneaky, but he walks into a sentry ward.
Oh, they see him.
Yeah, they see him, they know.
Oh, no, well, now he knows there's a ward there because he just got attacked by range creeps. So
He knows
PPD's
that they
gonna be
know
onto it.
that he knows.
Everyone knows that we both know that the team's know.
Yes. Well, we
Or
know
something.
everything. We're the casters.
Of course.
Yeah, we're the eye in the sky, man. It's beautiful. So, Arteezy is trying to split the enemy team from going S5 just by pushing bottom all the time. And I like that he's doing this because if Nyx scatter up S5, their synergy really comes online with all the auras kicking in. So just being a nuisance here on bottom lane. And in this regard, BKB is fairly nice for split pushing. But in theory, they could still bring him down with Void and Beastmaster.
You know,
Void picnic jumping.
yeah, when your Void has to run away from a Tidehunter,
He has TD.
I mean,
It's
true.
And he even has a Vladimir from Lycan Wolf standing nearby. Look at that. Perfect micro by Arteezy.
So OP.
So OP. His damage is insane, man. Well, Void is not the one hitting hard right now, and he's also not going to be the sole carry by any means of Nyx. If anything, this is like a quad carry lineup.
Yeah.
So that's why they really need each other. It's the power of friendship team.
Power of friendship.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, like, Lust has not skilled his fourth point into stun.
I don't think he should.
He transitioned into cleave, right? But the stun scale is the same at every single level in terms of damage output.
Yes. I mean, you don't get anything other than getting a little bit more damage, is what you're saying on Stormhammer.
Yeah.
So you still have the same duration, same cooldown, and same mana cost. So it's not that good to skill it up if he is level starved, which he is. So that's a good reason that I like his Midas, because he's catching up in levels. I'm not sure about maxing out the cleave, but I guess he is trying to just farm up and realizing the game is not about fighting right now.
Right.
The game is about farming. So normally I would disagree with not maxing out Workrite, because it's an amazing skill. It's so good for fighting in general. But going for the cleave is pretty effective in this game. And top, we actually see Brewmaster split, trying to chase, but not really getting anything. This
He
is
might be
sort
able to
of
get
the whiff.
fluff.
Yeah, but he
Throws it
doesn't have
aboard.
any backup here. He has PPD standing around, but he's really on his own. And he even keeps his Earth pretty close, but he's not going to get punished for it.
Yeah, he's just going to back up. I mean, yeah, wasting the split is not necessarily the best thing.
I think Nyx are fine with this though, just sitting and farming. Like EG obviously don't want to go and take a team fight as well, but what's happening right now is perfectly fine for Nyx. Even the Aegis is not being used by EG at all. So this Aegis is gonna be pretty pointless to an extent. And the next Roshan is really when Nyx can look to contest it. They will have the vision from Beastmaster, providing his Hawk, and then they can also go there and just fight, I think.
It's a lot more tense of a game than I thought it would be, like given the team lineups, because EG were still
Oh, I
doing-
thought EG would like punish this really hard.
Yeah.
But the awkwardness of the quirky melee tri-lane kind of worked out.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. So
A lot of it kind of goes to Zai being called out though on his Skywrath. You're not really supposed to give away kills to a lineup or to a Beastmaster Void Sven lane.
to be fair,
I think he
if
should
you
be playing
get
safe.
stunned by that lane, you do die, kind of. Like, If you get in range for
Sort
one
of.
Stormhammer.
Well, that's because you're Skywrath. That's not because the lane is extremely strong, I would say.
Oh, Fluff eating a full combo here, getting really low, popping the roar. PPD going to be there to secure the kill with Leech Seed. And one auto attack.
It's very nice. So with the E-Blade now, we managed to get one kill already.
They almost killed Lust as well.
Yeah, that's really good, because if they can keep getting kills with Arteezy, then maybe they can stop this farming pattern that Nyx are in right now, where everyone is just tanking up and getting more and more items.
Yeah.
And speaking of more and more items, Universe has not stopped farming as well.
He's almost got a refresher.
Yeah, he's going for that pre-30-minute refresher. He could do it, to be honest, if he keeps going.
Gonna be in some trouble here. Split views. TC wants to go in and try to help out his teammate here. He's just attacking the Fire Spirit down, but the double Ravage comes out. They might even be able to burst TC, or at the very least force him to pop BKB, which is exactly what they do. Lust, though, teleporting into a Mystic Flare and a Silence. They're gonna end up losing two.
No, it's the one by one, man.
IX Mike, he wants to clean up. He wants to find something for this, but it's just nothing to find.
Okay,
Fear's
that
already
was
out.
disaster on every level, because Arteezy doesn't care at all about this team fight as well, and he's just pushing top, so they might even be losing 2 towers if they can't defend the top tower. You see TP's top, but with a clone of him, Arteezy even getting the Vlad's aura on Morphling, which gives a lot of damage. Gonna go for that value push, gets the tower easily, and bottom not really being stopped either. The Silence on IX Mike.
He pops the BKB, gets his Sphere off on 2, but the damage follow-up is non-existent. No one is here. There's 2 heroes dead. IX Mike gonna be wasting the BKB, and the ulti still dropping, and they're giving up a tier 2.
Okay.
This is just a straight-up, like, panic moment for Nyx.
So what happened is, their team is the power of friendship, and they're spread out across the world.
Yep.
Like, they're not
BKB
friends anymore.
Popped by Arteezy, trying to do some damage to Brax. Lust gonna pop his
dealing
ulti
damage
as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a Lincoln, so the stun will land after the BKB wears off, but unfortunately he does not see the opportunity to actually go for a kill here.
Yeah, trying to push bottom as well. Meanwhile, and EG just doing the 4+1 kind of split push going on. Fear getting sucked by Brax, but not really.
Oh, the Stormhammer connects on 2. They might be able to find some kills here, though. The Anchor Smash just reducing so much damage. Fear is just not dying. With the blind and the Anchor Smash, there's just no physical
Even the
damage output on
haste.
the side of Nyx.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Universe.
chasing them, and I can see that they want to kill, but
There we go.
finally, in the end, gonna get a kill here on Tidehunter, but Arteezy has dealt a lot of damage to his top tower already, getting it down 1,000 HP, down to 600 now. This is big damage being dealt already. Structural damage by EG, and also economical damage, getting so many kills before backing out. And to what? They lost Tide in the end? After all of this, they lost Tide. And he purchases Refresher.
Space created.
I mean, whoops, space created this.
Yeah.
That's the chat wheel right there. So 28 minutes, he has his refresher on Tide, pretty happy. And they even have a Midas on Skywrath. I never caught that. So the Midas double null Talus and Ghost Scepter build coming out from Zai.
Yeah, I mean, getting to level 16 is still a pretty big deal. Skywrath has the 2nd highest ink gain, so his level scaling for a support is pretty good.
So he can kill himself harder on the Pugna
Yes,
ward.
but you buy a Blade Mail. Actually, he's going Veil, because he just
Doesn't
bought up
work,
a Helmet of
sadly.
Iron one.
Yeah. I missed the time where you could Blade Mail against stuff, but then as a techie picker myself, I'm pretty happy that you can't Blade Mail as well. Bottom lane, a little bit of a chase here with the Dusts against Fluff, but he's gonna be, against PBD, but he's gonna be fine. As Fluff backs off.
I mean, this really just makes it so the next Roshan should be secured by EG quite easily. They're going to have double Ravage.
Yeah, I don't think you can fight into that at all. Especially with the Assault Cuirass also being worked on by Brewmaster. He's still a good way off. He has to farm quite a bit. Both needs the Plate Mail and the Recipe Gold still. So, but this next Roshan should really not be contestable anymore by Nyx. Just because they did this 1-by-1 kind of fighting. It makes me very sad, because their lineup has the potential, right? And you have seen how they keep farming, they have stayed relevant and, you know, kept up with the good pace. But even looking over to the golden experience graph, you can really see the punishment just coming in there when suddenly everything just dipped, and you know, it was unfavorable to not fight together.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because if you fight together, sure, your team fight's strong. But is it stronger than double Ravage, Tree and Alt, Bruce Split?
Oh, before the double Ravage.
Right. Before the double Ravage,
yeah.
okay.
Now I would say they're just being punished, and now they're in a pickle.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they can find their way out. They're going to find Universe here on the high ground. They're going to drop the Sphere on him. The armor is there as well, but he is not going to be able to get any spells off. The Split used by Fear. He's looking for Brax right now, going to throw him straight up in the air.
Can he kill the
They need to kill
spirits,
that
maybe?
Nether ward. He's actually going to decide not to. He just wants to go for Zai instead, forces him out of the fight. You're going to see a roar onto Arteezy, dealing quite a bit of damage here. He might be in some trouble. BKB pop by Arteezy as well as Waveform is up. He's going to Waveform back
he's
towards
healing
the low
Lycan
ground.
as well.
Lust continuing to chase along with IX Mike. The Bachelord is real. The Mask of Madness is going. They've lost Zai already, and they've lost Universe. They might lose one
they're
more.
doing this team
Fear,
fight. How?
He's going to be dropping.
This is so impressive, actually. How did they manage to take this team fight so nicely?
And Roshan's up.
Yeah, the most important thing, I guess, is that they managed to bring down Tidehunter without him doing anything.
Yeah.
Because of Void, we mentioned it in the draft phase, this is one of the few heroes who can allow you to target a Tidehunter. Normally, you never want to go on him ever. It's one of the rules, sort of. Don't focus Tide. But they bring him down, and they take the Aegis away from EG now as well, with so much gold swinging back in their favor. I was really sad and kind of let down because I thought that Nyx now had put themselves in a spot where it would be very hard to play out of it.
Yeah.
But they did it. And now, again, they're in the game.
It was a very fortuitous situation because they found Universe in like the only position where they can actually kill him.
Yeah,
Which is
team-
completely away
team
from his
far
team.
away.
His whole team's on the low ground,
Yes.
and they kill him before he uses a single ability.
And Void walked into him with chance to chrono him, and
Yeah.
Pugna being there to drain. And the drain effectively removing all the charges from the Treant armor as well, really quickly, so it doesn't negate any damage if Pugna is targeting the same target.
Yeah.
So the team fight worked out really well for Nyx, but then again, they have not actually fought against the double Ravage yet. If they get any team fight now where Universe doesn't get targeted by a Chrono and they manage to burst him down, they're still going to be in a story.
Yeah, I mean, obviously if everything lines up for EG, they're crazy strong at this stage of the game. But having the extra life on TC, is the Soul Cure being done with the Vlads?
Yeah,
The
they
amount
even
of
have BKB now.
The amount of right click they have is actually pretty insane. IX Mike is going to go for a solo kill here on Zai, but Ethereal Blade coming out from Arteezy to keep him in fighting shape, and he's not going to be able to find that kill. Going to have to TP away.
So, nice save by Arteezy if you're chronoed and can't use your own Ghost Scepter. Get the Body Scepter going. But with this BKB as well on Pugna now, I think next fight is going to be very hard to stop what Nyx are doing. And Sven, with the Blink Dagger and 1800 gold now, he will get to that point where he hits very hard. Sven is the type of carry that doesn't need a lot of items to dish out amazing damage. I mean, he's 4th lowest in net worth, and I'm saying that you have to fear this guy. So that kind of gives
God strength.
Yeah.
And he's got a Crystallis as well with Mask of Madness. So yeah, your damage output's going to be pretty darn scary. Even with things like Anchor Smash, I'm pretty sure that God Strength is all additional damage, not base damage. So
Yes.
it's not affected by Anchor Smash at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's only the base damage getting lowered by Tide, even though, or we say only, but 60% of your base damage does a lot.
Still minus 60 damage.
Yes, it's a lot of damage, especially as it hits on multiple targets all the time.
Or wait, does it actually change how much bonus damage you get because it's based on your base damage?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we have Lumi here sitting and eating food close to us. You bastard, so hungry. But anyway, what do you think about Arteezy's choice now to go into the Manta style instead of going for a Scotty first?
I think Manta is
a
pretty
good
good.
choice. Yeah.
Because, I mean, in this case, you really do want to be a right clicker, and Manta is very strong on Morphling because of the fact that he's all stats. And if you want to make a late game transition into Scotty, having something else to disjoint, like any ability, like Sven's
Bottom,
stun.
Ravage being used on IX Mike. They're not wanting to use the second Ravage, but the Chrono TP out. So Ravage for Chrono, very nice trade for Nyx. And they get out.
I mean, he does have another Ravage, but it's no big deal.
Yeah, well, it's still a refresher put on cooldown, so it's something. For 3 minutes, they don't have to worry about that amazing teamfight coming out from EG at least.
Yeah.
And Chronosphere is a lower CD ulti, so they're fairly fine.
Yeah, I do like the Manta choice on Arteezy. I feel like it's the item that... Morphling is also a very slow hero. I think a lot of people forget that he's 285 base movement speed.
Yes,
like
that's
he
true.
is a snail.
Yeah.
You really want to be a little bit more mobile than that, especially when you're going for an E-Blade BKB build after the fact. Like you need to be able to stick your target, and you need to be able to like get out of the fight.
That's why a lot of people like going for the early boost of travel as well. And I kind of agree with it because, sure, Manta style solves it to an extent, but since it's based of your base movement or the movement speed that you have, the flat movement speed,
Right.
you don't get that much out of a Manta style as a fast hero would. So you're like a snail with a little bit of ambition to go faster, but not actually
You evolve
going
into a
that fast.
turtle instead of a snail.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but I still like this build more than like a BOT rush or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's silly.
That's the Hani special.
That's
bots
silly
first,
talk.
Morphling.
Yeah, that was the Heroes of the New Earth style. Fnatic switching to Dota 2 kind of memories. Anyway, nice pressure being put right now by Nyx here on top lane, just keeping the enemy sort of at bay. A little bit more happy to play against.
Yeah. Cast here on Brax. Not enough damage, unfortunately.
If he had Force Staff on PPD, he would have forced in and killed him there, and he's very close to having one. So it was a nice TP out, but in the end, nothing really happening for EG. Everyone is farming effectively, though. Even Universe using the enemy's jungle. I say that they're keeping EG at bay, but EG is also finding a lot of farm during this time. So I would say everything is just kind of pushing up towards that next Roshan respawn.
It's all about the team fight now.
Yeah, I mean, what will go down in team fight?
If they can isolate Universe like they did last time, I think that Nyx will absolutely run over EG, like without any question. But is Universe going to get caught like that twice? I really doubt it.
Do you feel confident if you're EG now? Like
I would.
If you were an EG, would you still feel confident, even though you have so many heroes farming up on the enemy side?
You have the kind of team where if you get the jump, you can disable for such a long time that even though there's really tanky heroes on the side of Nyx, like you imagine getting Ravage off before TC or Mike pop their BKB.
Yeah.
Well, the obvious reaction to that is, okay, well now I have to BKB as soon as the stun wears off, but you're already going to be low. There's an opportunity for PPD to follow it up with an overgrowth, right? So again, it's all about the initiation, like who gets the better start.
True. Execution is really important. Also, they have some nice tools against this mass right click. They have the Assault Class and Lads finished up, as we talked about earlier on Brewmaster. So he is fairly tanky, and his spirits are very hard to kill. It's something people forget about the Vlad's AC build. It's not about top lane lost. Getting solo killed here by Zai actually brought down completely without help. So nice play to see the Veil of Discord dealing some extra damage.
Yeah, bit off more than he can chew. And he's probably going to be transitioning into an E-Blade fairly soon and hitting level 16. So E-Blade,
scary.
Ancient Seal, Veil.
Twice the damage.
You just instantly die to Flare. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. It hurts a lot. It really does. Seems he bought something else, actually. He bought something for like 2,000. Did he buy Blink?
Maybe he bought Force or something.
Oh, yeah, he got a Eul Scepter.
Oh, okay, cool. So the Euls is another way to, I guess, keep yourself alive first and foremost.
Yeah, against stuff like Sven.
It's nice to be able to interrupt Brax. I don't believe Brax has a BKB, or does he actually have one now?
He does.
Okay, so he does have one now. But, I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can use a Euls. It's always an effective item.
Yeah. And MKB now by Lycan, not really wanting any of that Drunken Haste spam. And to be fair, Brewmaster is played all the time, so I guess teams are just getting tired of that extremely effective way to mess with right clickers, just putting Drunken Haste on them all the time. So MKB fairly good. I like it more in this case than I liked it on the Ember Spirit yesterday, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, Lycan actually.
I mean, the thing about Ember is you hit so many different targets in a fight, and he had double Battle Fury, that the cleave damage is always going to land on the hero, even if there is evasion.
It kind of compensates, yeah.
So it's a little bit of a different comparison, I guess. But
yeah, Autumn now, we see Zai going on missions again, just rushing up against the Void. Void actually pissed off, jumps in with the Mask of Madness, but look at that armor from Veil.
He's so tanky.
Yeah, keeping him alive for much longer than I thought. Finally getting roared, and a lot of commitment here, and Ravage comes out once, gonna come out twice for sure.
He's trying to buy time for the rest of his team to get here, but he didn't pop his Arcane Boots 2 times, so they're actually both going to get away. Are you serious? No, the overgrowth from long distance. They
that was the MLG
to get
growth.
IX Mike. But I mean, committing a double Ravage for that, and actually, never mind, it was worth it because Roshan's up.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think that was worth it, but now, with Roshan being alive, it definitely is worth it.
Yeah, that's the saving part about this, I guess. But even so, are you getting a free Roshan, do you think? Because it's still one hero down on each team.
I
mean, Void is dead and he's a big hero, but you have a lot of damage still on the side of Nyx. They could contest.
Well, Beastmaster's not there, so they're not feeling like they should, at the very least.
Yeah, I guess they're just gonna wait this one out. But with Skadi now as well on RTZ and with Aegis being picked up as well.
40 armor around his teammates.
He's gonna be very hard to deal with. To be honest, imagine if Nyx just had this wonderful hero called Eldred. All of
Elder
their
Titan's
right
pretty
click
good.
would be so good in this team if they had it. But that's also situational. Just, you know, Elder Titan is always amazing against Morphling. That's
And terribly.
easy to say. And any other agility
hero.
or
Yeah.
really.
AM, name them. It's good
Yeah.
against them all.
Yeah. Elder Titan sort of underused against some situational picks, you know.
It used to be really common to pick with Lycan, actually.
Yeah.
Like Lycan ET was, I think, something that DK and Peachy Gaming used to do back when DK was old DK.
I like how much Secret have run Elder Titan on No Tail.
Yeah, they support it, right?
Yeah.
Almost every game.
Oh, mid.
Lord.
They're gonna try and go on RTZ through his ages here.
Damage! Holy crap! Okay.
Oh my days, he got brought down fast.
My days.
He has the waveform out, and behind his universe, just walking around, doesn't actually have a Ravage, and he has a BKB on time.
Yeah.
That's pretty rare to see, but he really wants to get that ulti off at the correct timing.
Well, I think it's more than another word, too. They're going to try to find a kill here on Fluff. Brax going for the heal. Unfortunately, not going to be enough. IX Mike with his Fear on 3. The life drain is there.
Oh,
Can
that's
they
a
take
lot of
down
damage right
Arteezy?
there.
They're doing so much right now. The tree overgrowth grows on just less.
Okay, they have to get out.
This is really bad.
Bale.
SNA, that's a really big Tide Hunter. He's got the BKB activated. He's anger smashing to try to reduce damage, but it's just not enough. He's going to be dropping as well.
Brewmaster jumps in, and here he
Fear?
goes in. I'm not sure about this. Your
You don't
Spears
have a
will die
team,
really
bro.
fast. At least the Storm Panda is invis and running away, so he's going to be fine even if they kill the Earth. But they don't care about him. They just want to go down mid, get some towers out of this. And that's the scary part about this draft. I mean, when you go into 40 minutes plus against a lineup like this, as I said, late game is not easy against this. Because they just click so hard.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the click potential. They annihilated Arteezy the first time.
Yeah.
When they had like 2 or 3 people actually hitting him.
And it's everyone. I mean, even Sven at this point, he's going to finish up an entire Daedalus with his gold that he has now. So just that would be strong enough as a carry at 41 minutes. But they have plenty of heroes who deal just as much.
Wow, the base killing potential is unbelievable.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at how fast the racks are dropping.
That's
Good
like a
lord.
10-second tier 3 tower plus racks. Double racks, to be honest.
And that's a lot of gold going the way of Nyx. Like,
Yeah.
they haven't even
So-
killed the tier 1 bottom, by the way,
This
which
is
is kind
what
of crazy.
This is what had to be the worry in EG's head, though. Like just trying to farm up Morphling against this many heroes, farming the entire map all the time. Sure, you get a lot on your Tide Hunter, moving into enemy jungle and stealing some farm, but you're still talking about an extremely powerful friendship of Auras.
Yes.
Auras, Warcry, Vladimir's. I mean, of course, both teams have Vladimir's and AC. But just then, the overall synergy is stronger on Nyx. When they have Inner Beast, they have Warcry, they have, innately strong right-clickers, whereas Morphling is more of a pick-off with the E-Blade.
Yeah, I think that EG might have been too complacent with their team.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good lead for some time. Now they realize, okay, the emphasis is on us now. We need to try to make something happen out of this. All the lanes are pushed out pretty heavily, so
It is a fairly obvious smoke, and we can see the entire team of Nyx reacting very well here, backing it under a tower. They need to be careful, though. Even standing close to his tower, TC is not safe. I would say he needs to stay back, and he does walk back even to the tier 3. He listens to me.
I mean, you basically sit in the well at this point. It's like, okay.
Yeah, or kind of at their position is fine, because they're like, yeah, we can take a fight under our tier 3 if you dive this hard. We have buybacks on, do they actually have? They have buybacks on Void, they have buyback on Pugna, they have, yeah, that's it.
The Sven opted for BKB, by the way, as opposed to going for Daedalus.
That's a smart choice. He's not going that greedy then. Because I thought after he went for the Crystallis, I thought the Crystallis should have been a BKB, but instead he went for it. Having the crit is really nice on Sven, but that's a very good choice actually. Because now he can't be stopped by a tree and ulti or something silly like that.
But important to note that PPD just got his blink, which is, I think, a really big item for EG.
I think PPD has to pull out some MLG overgrowth. Like, he has to time it perfectly. But the thing is, he's not only targeting Sven and trying to stop Sven at the right time.
He's trying to stop everyone.
He has to, he has to be Superman.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I would say outside of hitting maybe the Void or the Pugna, that getting like a 2 or 3 man overgrowth is not really that difficult so long as you're not in the sphere.
Yes, but it's also about timing, because if it goes too early, the enemy might have BKBs available still, BKB out of it, and you did nothing. So you have to sort of wait out the BKB timings from the enemy and then go at the right, correct moment, and not let your team die while you're waiting. So it is a challenge for sure. And I'm starting to feel that this is getting to the point of no return for EG, where Everyone is just getting that strong. Even IX Mike opting to go for a refresher build on his Void here. I like it a lot. They need more control in team fight.
He doesn't have enough mana, does he?
He actually does with Trade Switch, I think. It's not that expensive. It depends if he double jumps as well.
Yeah, you can only jump once, basically, with his mana pool. You cannot use 2 leaps.
Yeah, because it's 535, and then, 735 is the entire that he needs to have. So if he doesn't Trade Switch at all, he can't do it.
Right.
But this is without a jump. So he pretty much has to walk in with full mana pool to cast a bolt.
Yeah, and that's not including Mask of Madness, which doesn't sound like a lot of mana because it's only 25, but you have to have mana for everything.
Yeah, true.
And he does not right now. So
it's fine. He's got to level up once more. Gonna give him that extra crucial mana.
Stat points, man.
Dude.
And EG seemingly not wanting to wait anymore. They realize we need to try to end the game because the late game is not really going the way that we had hoped.
Yeah, and right now it's very important to note that there are not that many buybacks. There is no buyback at all on Nyx. So anyone who dies now is gonna stay dead. Lycan has buyback in 5 gold though.
Are they dissatisfied with the tier 3 tower?
Oh no,
they're gonna find somebody outside of the base. It's gonna be IX Mike. They're trying to go for Arteezy. They get a sphere on him. PPD goes in with the immediate route after TC pops his own BKB. Looks like they're actually going to manage to keep him alive. It's a refresher sphere onto him. They want him so much. PPD actually ends up going down here. Nyx with a brilliant defense thus far. The Ravage comes out. It's going to hit on 2. Another Ravage, but Brax still alive for the time being. Lust has his BKB pop, so he's doing fine as well.
But they're so
still
tanky.
trying to chase Arteezy. They still haven't taken him down. They're just chasing him as hard as they can. The waveform out. EG turning this into a 2 for 2. Brax with the life drain. Arteezy lives through that whole engagement. He gets double sphered. Double sphered and he lives.
Double sphered, roared, focused by a Void and a Pugna draining you, gets out alive, but that's his team bailing him out so extremely well. That was really beautiful play by EG. And can they just walk in and take racks off this? There are buybacks available on Lycan right now.
Yeah, I think they won't even have to buy back, to be honest. Or maybe he will. Maybe he should have already bought back, because this Rax is dropping pretty quickly.
This Rax is dead if they don't do anything, but maybe they don't care that much about the buyback or about the Rax, and they care more about having the gold and item progression. At this stage, I'm kind of with them on it, to be honest, because if you buy back and set yourself back a little bit in terms of items, I mean, Lycan wants his heart. He really wants that heart.
When both teams commit so heavily to a team fight that if you take away the end goal, which is getting a Rax out of it, that it hurts a lot more to the enemy team. Like, I understand the premise of saying, okay, well, we want to make sure that we have buyback for a more important fight, but look, now he's going to be forced back to buy back anyway, and now a second set of Rax is dying.
Yeah, and they lost that one without doing anything, so in the end, hashtag not worth.
Not worth at all. Not even close.
Not even close to worth. So crippled on 2 lanes now is Nyx. And this is going to be much easier for EG to just swallow the entire map and take control of it. Yeah. While Nyx have to struggle to push out all the lanes all the time. Obviously, they have the damage to do so, but it also means splitting up. You have lost your top and your bottom racks. That's the most annoying scenario you could be in as well, because it's splitting you between top and bottom of the map.
Wow, they killed a courier with 6,000 gold of items on it. Was it like a butterfly or something? What the heck died? Oh, BKB was in stash. Okay, so that's not it. What the heck died?
I believe. Wait.
E-Blade, maybe?
It was probably. It was probably more than one guy's items. I think it would be the 4-staff of Treant and probably maybe the E-Blade of Skyra. Yeah, I would expect.
All right, well.
Anyway, the smoke and the straight movement mid is coming here.
Are they throning? There's tier 2s in both lanes.
I don't think they have much of a choice if they go down mid, because the Silence are pushing in. So
but EG is going to have buybacks, like in mass.
This is the impossible team fight I think they want to go for, because Morphling with buyback, you saw how hard it was to bring him down even once.
Well, IX Mike going for the spear. He catches Universe. Universe does have spear up, but he's going to get E-bladed by Arteezy, who actually walks into the spear to do so. The roar onto Arteezy as well. They're trying to kill Fluff and stuff right now. The overgrowth. Lust actually getting annihilated right now. He's just getting beaten down by Bruce Split and Arteezy. Eventually will fall. Universe forced to buy back into the game. Lust buys back as well, but he's not going to be able to get back into the team fight. Arteezy just chain converting stats and getting zapped by the Nether Ward 1,000,000 times. He will eventually go down. Does have the buyback, and the fight continues on. Universe with another brilliant Ravage, this time hitting on the entirety of what Nyx had left going inside of EG's base, and Brax is going to be losing his life to Arteezy as well.
Yeah, they got Chase out.
Going for the TP out. Another stun, this time onto Fear. TRC just getting beaten down by the Scotty Morphling, and I think that desperation push might have been all that Nyx had left.
Yeah, I mean, that's you shouldn't really say that this push is where they made a bad mistake or lost or whatever.
They had to.
Because, yeah, they already put themselves in this scenario after losing that fight on bottom so hard that they actually had to. Like, they could not just play the split, push game, etc., because they would be forced so thin around the map that EG could easily abuse that.
Yeah,
So I mean, this is where a lot of people would see it as a throw or something, but it's just a sad spot they were in.
a necessary calculated risk.
Yes.
That's basically what it is.
Yes.
And that just means that EG are going to be walking straight down middle lane, not even going to go for the last set of racks. Sven's alive with God Strength, but they do not have Sphere.
Good luck
on their
stopping
void.
this one.
As TC's got a minute left. It should be more or less GG. They're going to get a Roar off onto Fear on the bottom right, and Lust actually just going to be getting annihilated by RTZ. Just right clicks all day, every day. The Overgrowth comes out. The Mystic Flare going to land on 2. IX Mike dodges it with a time lapse, or a time walk rather, and the GG well played comes out.
GG well played. Well, credit to Nyx for making it work a lot better than it should have, to be honest, their draft. I wouldn't say that they should ever have had such a good early game. So, well played on the off lane, good tri-lane synergy, and like...
Friendship.
Yeah, more like the tri-lane friendship was strong, not the synergy of the heroes. So well played, but in the end, 2-0.
Yeah.
And that's also 2-0 when you're playing 3 games. It's not easy to come back and take a win off that. So they really have to sort of realize that every game is, you know, an individual game. Doesn't matter what happened in the previous 2. You need to do something different and win.
So, from your perspective, being on somebody who's played on a team before, when you lose a really close game, do you feel better or worse than like losing the first game where you can just say, okay, we dismiss it as we drafted poorly?
It goes a lot to the individual game, how it actually was lost and so on as well. It's like, did we have any chance, or was it just that we made really bad decisions and then lost on that? Because if your enemy just outplayed you a little bit and won in the end, that might not be so depressing as if you made a major mistake and you just feel that, oh damn. Which I probably think is the case as well. That bottom team fight, they just did not really have any chance to bring down RTZ, but they kept going for him and did not kill anyone. If they maybe got the tide, the jump in was correct, like the team fight execution, I think they might be bummed out after that one.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll see if SNA can manage to pull out one win against EG in this 3 best-of-1 series, but we're going to be bringing you guys that after the break, so be back in just a few minutes.